I was at Marlox owns what's it called?
XWE, Extreme
XWE.
Waste. I mean, Extreme Wrestling Entertainment.
What are your thoughts? Didn't they what are your thoughts on this is aside from that, but I don't know why Marlux just reminded me of PCW joining the RWA. I don't think we've talked about it yet, but you've been here for a while. You know
Hmm.
the whole meme of like PCW is the last resort for the RWA, right?
That's
Now
been a
they've
thing for a
actually been
while.
in there. So,
That has been a thing for a while. I mean, how do I feel about PCW getting in the RWA? At the time, I was a light heavyweight champion. That's a free RWA minors championship under my name. I'm not complaining. Sure, everything's happy. Um, but it in the RWA, one thing I'll say about PCW, it has evolved. I remember back then, no one could imagine them in the RWA. They were like DWF, but without Hodgson. They were just another Fed. But as I actually took the time to go to PCW, they have evolved so much. So do I think they deserve to be in the RWA? At the state they are now, yes. Because Isaac is more motivated than ever to produce the best product for PCW. And I've went to their shows. Their product is it's amazing. It's good. Not RPW good, not UWI good, not AXW good, but it's good. It is definitely it deserves to be in the RWA. So props to Isaac, props to Amber who used to be the co-owner, props to every single staff team member. They all did their thing. They put their hands and their feet into it and they give out the best product whenever they can. So I'll definitely give it to them. They do deserve it on many more platforms than just to get in kind of scale. They've worked for it. So definitely my props go out to PCW.
another thing, this isn't planned or anything, but there's a lot of people saying that independent federations need to step up their game. And I just want to comment on that saying, I think personally, it's more of a right now in pro wrestling, it's more of a back and forth thing where people will a lot of fed owners don't really have the motivation to go on because no pro wrestlers are attending their federations. Low numbers. The major federations are doing just fine. Let me say that. If people saying pro wrestling is dying, clearly just don't pro wrestle enough or are stuck in like 10-player feds or some shit. Or I don't know, maybe they're going through something. But the the independent federations, I look back during I think it was April 2021 this year, and man, the independent scene was thriving. You had feds like OM, WWS, like just a great period of people doing really well for themselves. And unfortunately, what's been happening is a lot of people are just exposed as and being held accountable for bad people, just period. And a lot of feds have gotten under. A lot of feds have closed down, including mine and RWI, which is probably the greatest loss in this community.
You should still bring one of those feds back.
I would,
Factual,
but
hard
like
vouch, hard vouch.
if I had time I would, but I do not. Fun fact actually, during episode I think it was episode 2 or 1 of Roblania Talk, it was Caden for real tried almost convinced me to return UWI. I was really considering it. Actually, fun fact for the people who don't know, Jesse would have been fine continuing UWI. He never actually had any plans to shut it down. That was all my call. So yeah, you guys can blame me for that. Anyways, a lot of feds have been closing down their doors. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Because it's not just one or two; it's a considerable amount. A lot of people are losing interest in the community. And it's both on the part of the Fed owners not putting in enough effort into making their federation feel really authentic or better, but it's also on the Raw Wrestlers' fault because the more time passes, the more generic Raw Wrestlers have become. It's crazy how custom gimmicks were something that people were pleading for. Well, I was pleading for a very long time. And when we finally got it, somehow, some way, people made it turn into uh, really the same attires, the same hair, the same emo rock music, these types of things that at one point seemed cool and now is just completely generic. So how do we flip the switch? How do we get more feds to come back and how do we get more Raw wrestlers to be more original? What are your guys' thoughts?
Well, first, the community needs a lot of I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know the word for it, but the community needs to like come together and like bring the fun and entertainment back. So where more people will start attending more shows, and sooner or later, if we have the creativity back as well, like you mentioned, we will have like max player shows even for the indie feds.